What is Preston curve? So this was recently discussed in the newspaper. I think it was an article in Indian Express. So it's a very important curve, although you won't be studying this curve in your static economy. In fact, even I haven't seen this curve before, but since it was there in the news, so it's good to know, right? So this is curve which was given by Samuel H. Preston in 1975. He was an American sociologist, not economist. The curve is somehow again collaborating with social indicator with the economic indicator. So it tries to provide an empirical relationship. It tries or it refers to a certain empirical relationship that is witnessed between life expectancy and per capita income in a country, that is witnessed in life expectancy and per capita income in a country. इसका क्या मतलब है? Basically this curve says that as a country transforms from a poor country, or there is economic growth in the country, and if there is increase in per capita income or per capita GDP, then the life expectancy of people increases. What does it mean now? So it simply means that as people start to earn more, if you divide the GDP by the total population, you will get the per capita GDP or per capita income. So if people are earning more, or people are able to increase their average annual income, then in that country life expectancy starts to rise. What is life expectancy? Life expectancy, if I give you a basic definition, it tells you that if a person is born in India today, on an average, how much or how many years he or she is expected to live. So at present, if somebody is born in India today, they are expected to live 70 years. So in some cases it might be they might die at the age of 5, or someone might die at the age of 10, and there might be people who might die at the age of 99 or 100 or 90. So when we take an average of our society, then it is expected that they will all live up to the age of 69, 70 years on an average. When we got independence, these numbers were very poor. In 1947, when we got independence, the life expectancy in India was 32 years. 32 साल की उम्र तक एक आदमी अगर पैदा हुआ है इंडिया में 1947 में, तो इट वॉज एक्सपेक्टेड दैट ही और शी विल डाई बाय द एज ऑफ 32. अब आप बोलेंगे कि सर मेरे दादाजी थे, उनके दादाजी थे, दे यूज्ड टू लिव फॉर 104 ईयर, बहुत सॉलिड होते थे, स्ट्रांग होते थे. ट्रू, बट इफ यू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड, एट दैट टाइम पीपल यूज्ड टू हैव 10 चिल्ड्रन, 12 चिल्ड्रन, and out of which only 3 or 4 used to survive. Out of those 10, 12 pregnancies or children that they used to have, some used to die at a very infant age during the pregnancy, in the first year of birth, maybe in the child mortality rates were high, infant mortality rates were high. Childs used to die between the age of 0 to 5 due to many diseases. There was less vaccination, there was less medical facilities, there was no institutional deliveries, right? So out of which only it was kind of a Darwin's theory of fittest, of the survival of the fittest. Only few people out of those deliveries used to survive, and they used to survive maybe for longer year, right? While others used to die because of certain diseases at the early age. So average life expectancy was 32 years. And the per capita income, average per capita income when we got independence was 9,000 rupees per year. So a person in India was earning 9,000 rupees per year. That was the average per capita income in our country. At present, this per capita income has increased to 98,300 rupees, right? 98,300 rupees on an average per capita income in India is right now is this, which is almost 11 times of what it used to be 76 years back. And now the life expectancy has more than doubled. It is almost 69, 70 is the life expectancy in India right now, right? So this basically shows that yes, Preston was right in his formulation. Plus उन्होंने ये भी बोला कि it happens initially only. After a certain increase in per capita income, certain increase in life expectancy, this curve flattens out, right? There is no further increase, which is also right. You cannot make people immortal. Somebody has to die, that people has to die. You can only say ki instead of average people dying at the age of 60, now they are dying at 80, right? So this part is also correct. Then the reasons that has been given why this is happening, they have given the reasons also. So there is better healthcare facilities, so they are able to afford better healthcare facilities, they are able to afford better education, better hygiene, right? So there are better surroundings or cleaner surroundings. And fourth is better nutrition, खाना अच्छा खा पा रहे हैं. Balanced diet, instead of just fulfilling the basic minimum requirement of calories, they are able to eat a balanced diet, so they are able to have a healthy life. These were the 4-5 reasons which has been given for this Preston curve to be correct. Then at last there are exceptions to this Preston curve, right? We have seen certain exceptions that it is not always true, and that is why we generally don't read about it, because this hypothesis, this curve fails after a certain extent or has failed in many cases. We have seen cases where there is low per capita income but high life expectancy, and it could be due to multiple reasons. क्यों हो सकता है ऐसा? It could be due to better medical technology developments, कि आपकी जो medical technology है वो better develop हो गई है. बेटर मेडिकल टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट की वजह से क्या हुआ कि जो आपकी मेडिकल टेक्नोलॉजी है वो बेटर डेवलप हो गई. पीपल आर एबल टू गेट बेटर ट्रीटमेंट्स, राइट? वैक्सीन्स मिल रही हैं उन्हें. देयर इज रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट ड्यू टू विच दे आर एबल टू क्योर सर्टेन डिजीज जिनकी वजह से पहले डेथ हो जाती थी, राइट? सो दिस कुड बी वन रीजन. द सेकेंड रीजन कुड बी टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर. दोज डेवलप्ड नेशंस who have increased their life expectancy by doing R&D, they are providing the technologies, maybe vaccines, maybe machines, maybe drugs, maybe other things to these developing nations where the per capita income is less, but they are getting it for free and they are able to improve their life expectancy. The third is the reason in which the government has focused on social spending more, or government has focused on spending on human development, right? So because of which there are better health facilities which is available free of cost to the people of that country, so their per capita income is low, but still people are not dying in that country at an early age on an average, right? So there could be multiple reasons where this hypothesis can fail, right? So these are few pointers. So write down what is Preston curve. समझ आ गया होगा सबको? नहीं आया तो अभी दोबारा लिखेंगे तो उतने में समझ आ जाएगा. It refers to certain empirical relationship that is witnessed between per capita income and life expectancy. Per capita income and life expectancy. It was proposed by American sociologist. अगेन नाम याद नहीं रहेगा तो चलेगा. Preston in 1975. So my reason to tell you was that it is not new. It is existing since 1975 with us, this theory. What does this theory say? When a poor country begins to grow, when a poor country its per capita income rises and causes a significant increase in life expectancy, causes a significant increase in life expectancy initially. This word is important, initially. Now the question comes that why this is going to happen, sir? What are the reasons for it? So reasons are easy to understand. When people's income increase, they are able to afford better access to healthcare, right? Access to healthcare, better education, better nutrition, or balanced diet, and cleaner environment. Right, so this curves look like this. Very simple curve. This is per capita GDP, and this is life expectancy. So it might look like something like this. Right, so initially you will see the steep increase. Jaise like your per capita income is increasing. Say it was per capita income was 10,000 rupees or 9,000 rupees in case of India. Your life expectancy was 32, right? And this is basically this, and this is 9,000 rupees, right? And as it goes, per capita income increases to 98,300 rupees. I'm writing Indian numbers for a reason so that you can remember it. Life expectancy goes to say 70 years, right? After that maybe more 10 years more, and then it will be basically going to be linear, or it will be going to have a flat curve. So to substantiate what we have written over there, you can write the example of India. Average per capita income of India rose from 9,000 rupees in 1947 to 98,300 rupees in 2023, and life expectancy rose from 32 years to 66 years. Sorry, 66 was in 2015. 69 years. But the problem is that it is not always true. What we have just discussed is not always true, and there are problems with it also. This Preston curve is not always true. There could be a possibility of having low per capita GDP with higher life expectancy. right? This could be like different cases could be there. So the first case could be due to improvement in medical technology. This can happen due to improvement in medical technology. Second is more investment by the government or in human development, right? So public investment in human development. Investment in human development. And the third is technology transfer. टेक्नोलॉजी इन्होंने डेवलप नहीं की बट दे आर गेटिंग इट फ्रॉम सम अदर कंट्री, राइट? सो टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर. They are generally used together. See, what happens is, you will be reading this in inclusive growth. I'm not going into the details, but to have an inclusive growth, you need two agencies to work. The first one and the second one are industry and government, right? So nothing can happen in a country without growth. Growth is the epicenter or focus of everything. From growth, what happens is economic development or economic growth. So if a GDP is growing, this will lead to better development of industries. It will lead to better per capita income. It will lead to the growth of GDP in the country, per capita GDP. So this growth is necessary in between. अगर growth ही नहीं हो रही है उस country के अंदर, then you will not have economic development or economic growth. From this growth only, what happens is human development. When people are economically developed, or when people start to get economically developed, they start to get human development or focus on human development. Economic development, they are fulfilling their basic needs. Roti, kapda, makan. They are able to have food, they are able to have clothes, they are able to have houses. Then they start focusing on education. Then they start focusing on healthcare. That is human development, right? And then when they achieve, or when they basically prosper in human development, then they go for social development. Social development is that no section of the society is left behind. No vulnerable section, no SC, no ST, no Muslims, nothing should be left behind, and everybody should develop in a society if the economy is growing or if there is growth in the society. But this cannot happen at the first place, or very difficult to happen at the first place. We have certain examples where we have seen this happening, even in the Southeast Asian countries, where the basically government control was more. So these two things, human development and social development, we require government intervention, right? And for these two things, growth and industry, we require growth and economic development, we require industry where government will be acting as an enabler. So industries will help us. They will provide wages, they will provide jobs, they will provide raw material, they will provide finished good for the development, they will help in export. So यहाँ से सब कुछ start होगी story growth से. And later on, what the government is going to do? Government will collect taxes from the people who are earning more. Government will take taxes from the corporates. Government will redistribute the wealth and the income in such a manner that those people who are not able to get uplifted during this time, they can also try to have the money, or they can also get equal opportunities, right? So they will provide, like we are providing right to education right now. We have, it's a fundamental right to provide basic education free of cost. We are under Ayushman Bharat, we are providing basic health facilities. Under National Food Security Act, we are providing free food to more than 80 crore people in our country. So this is what is happening all this? This is basically so that no one is left behind. That is social development, and free education, free health is your human development, and there we require government intervention, right? So this is what happens, and in a country, this is generally what happens in a country.